going to give you some time to get your mat. If you don't have a mat, it's okay. You can actually just spread out, just take up some space anywhere you want. We're going to be doing a very pretty moderately easy yoga flow tonight. As many of you know, I usually teach at Trinity Yoga on Friday nights at 6:15, but we're closed, obviously. So I decided I'm going to get on here and just do some flowing anyway. So I'm so glad you guys are on here. Marley, oh, the other little Marley's watching. And Maria, I miss you. I miss you being in my classes. Colin's on here, my nephew. Colin, you need yoga too, buddy. Yes, you do. Athletes need yoga. We all need yoga. Oh, I have low network connection, so there's a little bit of wonkiness going on in the airwaves, right? But that's okay. We're going to get through it. So the first thing I want you to do is, when you can find some space, I just want you to find a seat that feels comfortable for you. So whether it's cross-leg position, just having crisscross applesauce, however you want to call it, easy Sukhasana in the yoga world, and then we're going to settle down onto our sitting bones. So that's where we're all going to start. We're all going to begin right in just a seated position. Just a natural hip opener. This in itself is actually doing quite a bit for our body. You might sit down and you might find that you look a little more hunched down than, you know, I've had a lot of practice. So this is a lot of practice will do that to your spine. It will lengthen your spine. So do your best to just push down. My girl Melissa, Paula's in there, Carola, hello, Mike. Let's do some yoga, you guys. This is exciting. This is my first time going live for some yoga. I usually, if I go live, you guys probably see me dancing with my Jolt girls. But we're not doing Jolt in class right now, but we are doing some dancing on our own, Meredith and Dreama. Let's get our yoga on, you guys. Get into your seated position. So we're all just starting here in this seat. And what you'll notice as you settle in, it's difficult to sit in this position without any back support, especially if you struggle a lot with lower back issues or any kind of spinal issues of any type. It's a challenge in itself to stay seated and to stay upright. So that's really what I want you to practice doing while we're just getting into the swing of things. So crisscross position with the legs, pushing down through the sitting bones. We're going to take the hands to the knees. Good. And we're going to take a nice inhale and we'll bring the shoulders up to the ears. Just breathe it all in and we're going to breathe it all out. Just side out the mouth and roll those shoulders back and down. So this is the flow right now. We're just shoulder rolling. Okay, so inhale, lift it up, squeeze. And then exhale, roll it on back and down. And what we're looking for here is a little bit of a connection to our shoulder sockets. We want to feel all parts of the shoulder cuffs rolling around. If you have injuries or any limitations, then take it easy. Just do a smaller movement. But we're going to start to break up some of that tension that we might have building up in the cervical spine, the top of the back, a lot of the neck area, and the base of the spine carries a lot of tension and stress when we're worried. So we're going to try to work that out a little bit. So keep squeezing up, inhale, and then exhale back. Good. We're just kind of getting into the mode here. So if you're just tuning in, it's going to be a roll with the flow, like join in and jump on with us. So nothing too difficult. I want you to modify if you do have injuries or you have any issues. I'm going to do my best to offer modifications as we go. I don't have any props here at this house yet, so I'm just going to be modifying with no props. I might have to use a cat as a block if needed. So now let's start to roll those shoulders forward. I don't know if you were continuing or not, but we're gonna rotate the other direction. We're gonna inhale, squeeze up to the ears with the shoulders, and then roll it forward. So what we wanna find here is a little bit of space. Breathe in, squeeze up, breathe out, roll forward. At this point, we can breathe in the nose and breathe out the mouth. It's no problem. We will work our way into a nostril breath. I would like to try and teach you a really helpful breath for stress management and to relax and calm the body. So first, we're gonna inhale up and exhale forward. We're gonna do a couple more, just rolling those shoulder cuffs. Now we're going forward. We've already gone backwards, so now we're rolling forward. Simple, simple, simple. We wanna just feel ourselves grounded down to the seat. A lot of times we will overcomplicate our yoga flow, right? And we make it really difficult and challenging, and we lose the fact that we're looking for these little nooks and crannies in the body that store the tension and the stress, keeping us kind of locked in. We want to release those little areas. So that's what we're gonna do tonight, okay? So up and around. We're gonna take the arms down to the sides. Let's inhale and sweep those arms up, okay? So inhale, big inhale, scoop up. We'll take the palms together, settle the shoulders away from the ears, and exhale down through to heart center. We're gonna take a moment here, okay? So we're gonna have a moment, we'll set our intention for our practice. As we set our intention, we really just wanna be thinking about our heartfelt desires, what it is that our heart longs for in the moment. I believe that many people are looking for some inner peace, some sense of resolve, hope, and faith, right? So whatever it is that you're looking for, why don't you gently either close your eyes or just look down the bridge of the nose. Take a moment to just think about what it is you're searching for, and perhaps this practice will bring you just a little bit closer to that intention, okay? I'm feeling all that love that you're all sending my way, and I'm sending it right back to you. So feel it with me. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's inhale, reach up. Palms together, reaching up to the sun. Separate the arms and take a big stretch, reaching up through the fingertips, lift the heart, and then flip the palms back. Let's take those hands behind us. So I'm gonna turn just so that you can see. I'm still in my cross-leg position. In fact, if you would like, you can switch up the legs. You can actually put the other leg out front, and then you'll feel a different sensation. Refine those sitting bones, and then drop the palms down behind you. You're gonna want your fingertips pointing forward as you hug the shoulder blades together behind you. Lift the low back. You can walk those hands out if you want to a little bit. Lift the low back. This one feels really good, so enjoy. Lift the low back, lift the center of the chest, draw the shoulder blades together. Push into the palms of the hands. So you're actually gonna get a nice little stretch coming through those wrists. Breathe. You've been on your computer all day working from home. This is gonna feel amazing. So just breathe with me. Breathe in and breathe out. We can start to narrow that breath to a nostril flow. So in and out of the nose, breathing in. Lift the heart, breathe out, hug the shoulder blades. One more breath. Let's walk it forward. We'll come to neutral. I'm just gonna turn to face you, and we're gonna start to bring the feet together. Okay, so we're coming into butterfly, one of my favorite poses, of course, or Baddha Konasana. So we want the outer edges of our feet together, and we want the insides of our feet to just hang open. We don't want to push our feet together which is going to limit how much we can open up those hips, okay? So let the outside edges of your feet just hang together and then let the insides open. Hold on to your shins and then rock around the clock. You all know I wish I could have some music playing right now because you know how I love my playlists, but copyright, so we'll just have to listen to the sounds of nature. Take a moment here and find those sitting bones. So one of the first mistakes we make in posture is we don't sit properly on the sitting bones that should be supporting us, right? So a lot of times what we'll do is sit down and we sit back toward our tailbone, which causes that curve in the spine, or we sit too far forward and so we're on a tilted pelvis. We want to come up and sit nice and even on those sitting bones. That's going to help you a lot with your posture in the long run, and this pose is going to build our ujjayi, fancy term for breath with sound, okay? So if you've been in a yoga class before, this is Abigail, she's going to be my model. If you've been in a yoga class before, you've possibly heard people breathing very loudly in the class. And the thing with that is the ujjayi, the breath with sound, is to be the focal point of our whole practice. That's where we want our intention to be resting. And when it's not, if our mind wanders off, we always come back to, how am I breathing? How am I breathing? That's the question you want to ask yourself. So to begin to learn this breath with sound, it's also could be called an ocean breath. It kind of sounds like ocean waves. It kind of sounds like Darth Vader, okay? Very useful. Holding onto the shins, we're going to draw up. If for any reason you cannot be in this position with your feet together and knees out, cross leg is available too. Grow up through the spine, inhale, reach, reach, reach through the crown of the head and settle the shoulders down away from the ears. Good. Now, on your exhalation, I want you to breathe out the mouth as we begin. So you'll breathe in the nose, take a big, nice breath, and then breathe out the mouth like you're going to fog up a mirror or like you want to see your breath in the wintertime. It's silly, but I want you to practice that a couple times. So in the nose, breathing in all the way. Don't feel silly because you're probably home alone, or if you've got your family or loved ones there, then make them do this too, because this is going to be good, and you'll feel better when you're done. Breathe in, breathe out, fog the mirror. Now the next level of this breath is to connect the body to the breathing, okay? So what I want you to do is breathe in, grow, lift nice and long. Imagine your spine lifting and growing up nice and tall to the ceiling, and the backside of the head coming into alignment with your tailbone as you breathe in. Breathe in, breathe out, fog the mirror. As you fog the mirror, start to pull and draw in through the low belly. So you want to tuck and pull and engage that low belly in toward the spine. You also, if it's comfortable for you, drawing up through the pelvic floor. So all of it begins at the root of the body, and that exhalation should feel like it's traveling from the root of the body, the perineum, the pelvic floor, and drawing up to the navel, pulling the navel in toward the spine, working that exhale up through the throat space. That's where we're getting that vibration, that. And we want to release it as long as it wants to go. We're not going to cut it short. We're going to actually release that exhalation all the way to the very last drop of air. Okay, so we're going to take a couple more rounds of practice, breathing in the nose and then fogging up the mirror, okay? We're adding on a little bit of that body awareness. We're drawing the belly in as we exhale, and the pelvic floor is engaging and lifting up to meet the navel, to meet the low abdominals. Breathe in, reach up. So we've been here for a while with the legs. We're going to go ahead and extend those legs. So take them down the mat. If you're just joining, it's okay. Hop in wherever. We're going to be doing, different things that are going to feel good for all of us. So there's no need to worry if you're just joining. Let's take the legs down the mat. And again, we have to find those sitting bones. Okay, so we want to ground down a little bit there. We're going to point and flex the feet. So the next thing we're going to do, which is going to continue to build on our ujjayi breath. Breath with sound, breath with vibration. You can call it that because there is a little bit of a vibration in the back of the throat space. That same sensation you get with your mouth open as you breathe out, you're going to actually close the mouth gently and still continue to breathe through that throat space. So the inhale is going to draw all the way in the nose. It's going to come out the nose as well, but drawing it through the throat space, engaging and pulling in through the low abdominals, the low core muscles, okay? So here's a nice pose for us to reduce some anxiety. How about that? That sounds like a good idea. Let's go into our staff pose. We're going to take our hands and plant them next to the hips. We're going to actually be flexing our feet. So we're going to pull our toes nice and tight in toward the shins. Now what you might even find is that the heels come up off of the mat because the legs get so engaged, and that's really what you want. You want to be completely engaged all the way from the bottoms of the feet, moving up through the legs, pushing down through the sitting bones. So now pushing through the glutes. So engage your glutes like you're trying to push off away from the mat. Pull the navel in nice and tight. Draw all the muscles inward, okay? In the torso, you want to be tucking and pulling everything in. Push down through the palms at your sides, the sides of the hips. Drop the shoulders, take an inhale. On your exhale, take chin to chest and breathe nice and deep, that ujjayi breath, okay? So we're going to take a few rounds of breath here as we press through the palms. Keep that chin nice and tight to the chest. Just let it out. Just sigh it out. Good. Go ahead and release. It's one of the great things about a home practice is you can really breathe freely and not feel silly or anything like that. Some people feel silly when they're in the group and breathing loudly, but I always encourage loud breathing. All right, so from here, we're going to go ahead and take our right foot and we're going to connect it to the inside of the left thigh. We're going to start opening up a little bit through the legs. So drop yourself down, even yourself out with the front side of your mat, and then flex that left foot. So if you're facing me, we're probably mirrored. So just know that you're extending your left leg, you're drawing those left toes in toward the shin, so you're pushing out through the heel, and we're going to softly bend that left knee. Now we don't want to lock out, and we might even bend, put a nice bend into that knee if we want to take more of a modified version. If you're new to yoga, you've never done any yoga before, it's been a while, bend the knee. Take a nice bend to that knee, and you're going to cascade fold instead of lengthening so much through the heart as you come down, okay? So inhale, let's reach up. We all have a soft left knee right now. And exhale, lead with the heart. So let your heart lead the way. Come on down, folding in toward this extended left leg. Drop the head, neck, and shoulders. Breathe. Continue that ujjayi, that breath with sound. Keep breathing. Stay in your pose. I'm watching you. Keep breathing. All you beautiful people, I see you. Keep breathing. Every inhale, take a moment on that inhale to lengthen the spine a bit. Every exhale, we want to fold in a little bit deeper. Draw the belly in. Now look forward, come up, nice and slow on the inhale. Exhale at the top, release. Take that right leg down, tap it out, roll the ankles, and we'll connect to the other side. Both sides are different, and every practice is going to be different, right? Every practice is different, and every body is totally different. So no two poses look the same. It's just the way it is. It's the beauty of yoga. It's not supposed to be cookie cutter or, well, as society has made it so commercialized, right? So let it be your own. Softly bend that right knee, flex that right foot. The reason we want to flex the foot is so that the leg muscles are engaged. If the leg muscles are engaged, we're going to be able to fold in a little bit deeper. So inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold in. Lead with the heart. Breathe. Nice, steady breaths. Remember, each exhalation, draw the belly in. Drop down just a little bit more toward that leg on the exhale. Take one more breath. Let's inhale, look forward, come all the way up, and exhale at the top, release. Roll the ankles, just shake it out a little bit through the legs. So let's start to go into our downward facing dog. Now some people cannot come onto the knees. So if you can't come onto the knees, I'm going to give you a modified version. For those of you that can, you're going to start in a tabletop position. Walk the hands forward, one hand print. Tuck the toes, draw the belly in nice and tight, lengthen those wrists. So take a moment to look at your hands. Push down nice and firm through the hands and lengthen your wrists, because this is what you want to see happening in your downward facing dog. You don't want a lot of weight on your wrists when you're up and down dog. You actually want to be lengthened all the way down from the wrists, down the back sides of the arms and the shoulders. Start to lift the hips. And then from here, you're just going to walk it out a little bit. So I'm actually going to turn myself so that it's a little easier for everyone to see what we're doing here. So we're just going to pedal it out a little bit. And what you might notice about your downward facing dog, many people, it's a common thing, a common mistake, is that we will put too much weight on our upper body. So we end up looking more like we're trying to go into a plank. When really what we need to do is push back toward the legs. Pushing back toward the legs, we're letting our shoulder blades separate. So we're rolling those shoulder blades apart. We're pushing nice and firm through the hands. We're letting the heels drop. So the back sides of the legs are lengthening down the back. You're pushing down through your heels behind you. Keep breathing. Take a knee drop, draw back, and take a child's. In child's pose, you want to feel your hips drawing back toward the heels. If you need support in your child's pose, you can always use a pillow, or if you have a yoga block underneath the seat. It's a lot on the tops of the feet and the ankles too, so just be really mindful of the body. The big toes should be touching, and the knees are either close together, or you can have those knees further apart depending on what you're looking for. If you do your child's pose with your knees together, you can actually compress the belly and work a little bit on digestion. So if that's something, you know, and it can also help lengthen the low back. Take one more breath. Look forward. Let's go ahead and tuck those toes and lift back up to our downward facing dog. We're going to take an inhale, and on the inhale, we're going to look forward and start to roll our way into a plank position. So, plank position, here we are. It's like, how did we get here so quickly, right? I don't know how many of you are actually doing the plank. I can't see, but I'm going to trust that you're doing plank. If you find that you go into plank and you struggle in the low back, so you find your low back dipping, or you find that you're popping your seat up, you need to drop the knees. I'm telling you from experience. As someone who spent a long time doing plank, struggling, and nearly injuring my low back, I learned early on the importance of dropping those knees until, sorry folks, I had to put my hair up. And I just got my hair cut. Thank you, Dana, for the fresh cut. But if you find that your back caves in, you just need to drop those knees long enough to build the muscle strength, to build the muscle memory, to be able to maintain a nice long backside as you hold your plank. Breathe. Good. Go ahead and drop the knees. Take it back to child's. Lengthen the wrists. Drop the fingertips and lift the palms. Look forward. Go ahead and find your way back into your plank, or I'm going to take modified plank. Okay? So modified plank. We want to look at our elbows and make sure that the elbow creases are pointing forward. So elbow creases forward instead of in toward one another, which you may have to rotate them out. We're going to bring the chest forward and start to bend into those elbows. Elbows graze the rib cage. We're going to inhale and open up. We're going to come into our cobra with bent elbows or full seal. Soften the back side. And tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the hips, drop the heels. Good. Inhale, look forward. Come all the way back into your plank position. Drop the knees if needed. Pull the belly in nice and tight. Draw the chest forward. Elbows bending to graze the rib cage. Inhale, open up. And exhale, draw up and back. Good. Go ahead and look to the hands, and we're going to walk up to the hands. Come to a half fold, flat back position. Exhale down, soften your knees, and inhale to lift. All the way up. And exhale down to heart center. Good. Let's inhale, lift. And exhale down. So, are you flowing or what? Are we sweating? It's hot. It's hot here. I don't know where you're at, but it is like 90, I think it's 95. So, I'm getting a little sweaty. We're going to go ahead and start out with a warrior one. Okay, so we all need a little inner warrior right now for sure. So let's take our left leg. We're going to start with both feet pointing forward, hips distance. Take your left foot and step back to a slight angle. So you want that left foot to be pointing up to the upper left corner of your mat, and your right knee is going to bend. You want to keep a nice 90-degree angle in that front leg. So look down at your feet and make sure that they're far enough apart that you're going to find stability. Take your hands to your hips and make sure the hips are faced forward and even. And then find engagement. So push down through the feet. Draw in nice and tight through the belly. And then lift up through the arms. Lift the center of the chest. Hug the shoulder blades together and breathe. Nice big full breaths, continuing that audible breath, breathing through the throat space, pushing down through those feet, activating the legs. Good. We're going to draw those palms together, bring them down to heart center, and then step forward. So warrior one complete. We're going to inhale, lift up, and then we're going to exhale down to heart center and make our way to the other side. So let's do warrior one other side, and I'm actually going to turn and face you so that you have a different angle. And yeah, nothing fancy here. I've got my trusty, I don't know, I probably paid seriously $9 for this mat, and it's the stickiest, most awesome mat. You don't slide at all. So let's connect now that I've switched up. Inhale, reach up, and then exhale down. We're gonna take our right leg and step it back. Right foot pointing up, upper right corner. We're doing our warrior one pose. If you're just joining us, come on in. So we want to make sure we do have that stability. Now, eye gaze, where our eyes go, our attention flows, right? So if we're looking all over the place, here's another bonus about home practice. There's not a bunch of other yogis in the room to compare to. So it's you and you. That's it. It's you and the person you used to be. That's all we got. That's all we have to compete with, right? That takes a lot of pressure off. So let's bend that front knee. Make sure you're not overextending. Draw it back. Keep yourself nice and locked in. Push the feet down to the mat. Take hands to hips. Square off those hips. And then lift up. Drop the shoulders down the back and hug the shoulder blades together. Soften the low back if you want a little bit of a back bend. We're not actually bending the back. We're opening the chest. So they call it a back bend because it is bending, your spine, but we're actually actively opening up the heart, which creates the space so that our backs can bend. Breathe. You are a warrior. I think there's an 80s song. I am a warrior. I think. I don't know. That song just came to my head. Now, palms together. Let's bring it on down. And let's step it on forward. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw down. We're going to separate the feet a little bit wider than hips. Not too much, just a little bit, maybe to the outside edges of the mat. Soften our knees, and we're going to release the back. We did a little bit of back bending there, so we want to undo that, and we want to decompress the spine. Plus, it just feels really good, and folding poses are really, really efficient for eliminating anxiety. So we're all looking to do that, right? Inhale, reach up, and exhale, soft fold. Soft fold. Bend the knees a little bit. Come down and just sway a bit. Now, your fold might look a little more like this, and that's fine. That is okay. Just fold in. Fold in is all you got to do. And let your lower back release. I would suggest if your hands don't reach the floor, use something as a prop. I'm just going to grab this handy little pillow. Yes, hello summertime, almost. But we're going to use whatever we can find. And actually, sofa pillows, throw blankets, they make great yoga props. So don't be, going bankrupt buying props. Just grab what you can. So even using that pillow, you see you're not hanging out there so much. You're able to actually release your low back. Take an inhale, look forward, and slowly start to come up. Coming out of your fold, let yourself lead by pushing into the feet and softening those knees. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Good. You guys are awesome. We're going to go into our next pose. So let's come to the top of the mat. First, we're going to take a nice sun salutation as the sun is starting to set here in Tampa Bay. We're going to do a nice sun salutation together. So let's inhale, reach up. Let's exhale as we fold in. Soft knees coming down. Let's inhale to that flat back, half fold, hands to the shins, fingertips to shins. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back. Modified or full plank, chaturanga. So we want the elbows grazing the rib cage, elbow creases forward. This is different than our traditional push-up. Inhale, open, and exhale. Hips up, heels down, lengthening down the back, lengthening the wrists. Look forward and step up to your hands. Come up to that half fold. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, down. Good. So the next thing we're going to take is a nice high lunge. This is a powerful pose. It does a lot to strengthen our lower body and to strengthen up our core. So let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, down to heart center. And we're going to take that left leg back. Left foot back, both feet pointing forward. Feet are parallel to each other. We're down on the ball of the back foot. So we have the heel lifted. I'm going to turn just so you can see. That heel is lifted, but both feet are pointed forward. The front knee is going to bend, not to overextend. It's going to stay right over the ankle. So it's similar to our warrior one, but we're lifting that back heel, and we're going to really tighten up through the hips. Get nice and strong here. Lift up, lift that center of the chest. Hug the shoulder blades. Drop the shoulders down the back. Breathe. I feel a cat trying to join in. My model. Take one more breath. Let's bring the palms together down to heart center, and then we're going to step forward. Let's connect. Inhale, lift, and exhale down. Let's take our right foot back, and same thing on this side. So again, your feet are parallel, your hips are squared off, everything is on and engaged. From here, we're going to open up, breathe. Palms together, down to heart center, step it forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Sun salutation, breathe in, reach up. Exhale, fold in, pull the belly in. Inhale to a flat back half fold. Exhale, drop palms, step, or maybe float back if that's in your practice. Roll to the tips of the toes. And exhale all the way down through chaturanga. Inhale to open up. Exhale, pull the hips up and drop those heels down. Good. Look forward, inhale. Come to that half fold. Exhale, full fold. Inhale to rise up. And exhale down, heart center. Connect. Inhale. And exhale. Good. So moving on, we're going to move into a little bit of balance. So tonight's feeling like a tree pose kind of night. So we're gonna find our tree. What we wanna do first is we wanna settle our eyes on something non-moving. So eye gaze, drishti eye gaze, as they call it in yoga, is everything with balance. And it's really true in life too, right? We focus on one thing. If we can find a soft focus, we can maintain balance. But if our eyes are moving and we're switching around and switching our focus all over the place, we're not going to feel very balanced. We're going to feel that scattered feeling inside. So it's very symbolic. Find your eyes on one fixed spot. So it could be anything. It could be a little part of the wall. It could be a part of the ceiling. Or if you're outside, maybe find something in the tree trunk to look at. That would be ideal, right? So as we begin, we're going to take our hands together at heart center. And this might be just where we begin with the hands. We're going to take our left leg. We'll lift, bring the toes out in front of us on the left leg. Bring it back so that the feet meet one another, and then open up that left hip. Draw your right hip in. So you don't want to be pushing out through your right hip. You want to actually level that out. And then if you need to, use your hand to move that foot. The left foot can go anywhere above or below the knee. You just don't want it anywhere on the knee joint. So find your tree. Now above or below, or toes down. Just keep the toes down if you're working on balance here, okay? And when you're ready, if you'd like, you can grow some branches. And breathe. Good. Inhale, palms together. Bring them down, and exhale to release. So we're going to shake it out. You're feeling it on that standing leg. That's what it's supposed to feel like. So we're going to start going into the other side. Both sides are different. Most people will find one side more challenging than the other, or you may have an injury. So just listen to what you need tonight and on this side. Let's open up and then find our placement. So wherever we want to go. Maybe we want to go below. Maybe we want to try to bring it up to the inner thigh. We're going to keep our eyes fixed the whole time. When we're ready, if we want, we can grow some branches. And smile. Just because smiling eliminates tension immediately from the face and the mind. Bring the palms together, down we go, and release. Let's shake it out, let it go. Let's step to the top of the mat and let's connect. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Good. Oh, kitties went in. So hold on 1 second. One in. Come on. No? Yay or nay? Well, go on if you want in. He couldn't decide. Cats are indecisive. Much like most of us people, right? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to come on down to our mat. So I'm going to turn my mat this way because I think it's a little easier. Sorry, Abigail. These cats are so funny. This is Abigail, and the other one, he's Furrbanks. I don't think he came into the picture, but we're going to go ahead and come on all the way down to our mat. I want you to lay down onto the spine and draw the knees in and take my very favorite pose, which I don't know if you can see me or not. I feel like, hang on, I'm actually gonna move you down here. There we go. Oh, Abigail's gonna take over my mat. So we're gonna draw our knees in and just gently rock from side to side. And this is one of my favorite poses ever. Because as you'll notice, if you're on a hard floor, you will be able to give yourself a massage, basically. Just rolling over any tension in the spine. Good. Now from here, we're coming into our bridge pose. So we're gonna take our feet down to the mat. We're gonna lift our shoulder blades and tuck them in toward one another. Drop the arms down to the sides of the body. And then when we're ready, we're gonna go ahead and start to peel those hips off and away from the mat. We wanna lift up as high as we can with the hips, but we wanna keep looking up toward the ceiling. So do not move your neck, don't shift your eyes. If you would like to, you can either keep your arms to the sides or you can interlace your fingers underneath the seat. And breathe. Keep lifting the center of the chest. You're trying to lift the chest up and you're trying to reach behind you with your chest. Take one more breath. And lower down. And release the shoulder blades. And draw the knees in and take a little rock from side to side. Roll out the ankles. Good. We're going to come into a spinal twist. These are heavenly. So let's take our arms, let's bring them out to the sides. We're going to ground down through the shoulder blades. We're going to draw those knees in toward the chest and bring them together. With our right hand, we're going to guide the knees over to the right side. You might use a pillow, you might use anything you've got to catch the legs over here on the right side. If for any reason your legs don't reach the floor, or you feel your left shoulder blade peeling away, let's say you come over and you feel like this happens, you're actually going to want to use a pillow over there to your right side of your hip. And that's going to help you keep this left shoulder blade down so your legs can rest and your shoulder blade can stay down and you can gently gaze over, just turning your head gently to the left. So your right hand is there to hold the legs over to that right side. And what you can do here is just really soften. Just soften the face, soften the jaw. We got a little movement in, we moved some energy. Now it's time to relax. Breathe. Let go of any tension in the jaw or the mouth. We're going to start coming back into the center. We'll take the right arm down. We're going to use our left hand now. Guide the knees. Move your prop. If you had a pillow or something to catch the legs, just move it on over to the other side. And then take your eye gaze and just gently turn your head over to the right. Just let go of the facial tension, let go of the stress. Just be in the moment. Be here now. Let's inhale, come back to the center. Rock gently from side to side. The next thing we're going to do is bring the legs up. Now this is legs up. You can do many different ways. I'm going to use my little pillow because this is probably something that you might want to use your pillow for. You're going to lift your hips and drop your pillow down underneath your seat. And then from there, you'll just take your legs and lift them up. Now, you can bring the legs up without a pillow, and that's fine. The only thing with that is you're going to find that there's effort involved. There's effort in the core muscle group to keep the legs up. And if you're looking for core strength, great. But right now we're trying to unwind from our practice. So we're really going to try to look for a more restorative version. Now, if shoulder stand is in your practice, feel free to go there now. Shoulder stand is not recommended for anyone with neck or back issues, any eye issues or blood pressure, possible pregnancy, some would say even menstruation, to avoid doing shoulder stand. So I'm not going to demonstrate shoulder stand. I'm just a little afraid that some of you might try it at home that are maybe not ready for it. And you can really hurt yourself, your neck, if you're not ready for shoulder stand. So we're just going to take it easy. We're going to have the legs up. And when the legs are elevated like this, we're getting a lot of benefit. So every night before bed, I would suggest taking a little bit of time with your legs elevated up. You can bring them up against the wall. You can lay on the floor by the bed and just hang your legs over the edge of the bed. But whatever you do, try to bring your legs up and elevate them for a little bit to get that blood flow reversal. So you're getting some fresh oxygenated blood flowing through the body. This is really good for your immune system, really good for everything to reset. Flip the palms up if that's comfortable. Just breathe. We're going to take a few more breaths. We're going to slowly begin to lower those legs. So bring the legs down. Remove your pillow. If you want, you could take your pillow and go ahead and put it under your head. Find yourself nice and restful, ready for some Shavasana. So find yourself in the most peaceful, comfortable resting position that you can find. And we're going to have some time to take a step away from everything, from all responsibilities, from anything that's already happened leading up to this point, and taking a step away from anything that is yet to happen because we don't know what's to happen. So we're just going to be here in this moment that we know. We know this moment. Take a little bit of time to tune into your environment. So with your eyes gently closed, or you can even leave them gently open if you wish. Just start to take in your surroundings. Listen. Notice any smells in the air, any tastes in the mouth. Notice the temperature of the room, the fabric of your clothing. Notice any light behind the eyelids, anything in your sight, just being aware. Allow yourself to just melt into the space. Let yourself become part of this moment, fully participating as an observant in the moment. So we're just watching, noticing. Our minds may become distracted and busy. We're noticing that too as it occurs. If we have emotions or certain thoughts that are present, we're aware of those emotions and of those thoughts. And then maybe in your mind you say, it's okay for me to feel whatever it is you might be feeling. It's okay for me to think whatever it is you might be thinking. And then welcome new, fresh feelings and thoughts. You can let go of any powerful, forced breathing. You can just allow your body to breathe without very much effort at all. Just let go of all effort. Let go of all the struggle and the trying. Just feel any resistance just gently unraveling. If it's helpful to repeat in the mind, I am here now, in this moment. I am here now, in this moment. Sometimes when we repeat statements or mantras, affirmations, prayers, these are ways that we can bring the mind into more of a still space. We can begin to gain a sense of control over our mind. Just allow yourself to feel as though you are resting in between all that is right and all that is wrong. And you're just hanging out in that place of it doesn't matter. There is no right, there is no wrong. Feel yourself hanging out somewhere in the middle of any chaos externally. Allow yourself to feel as though you have stepped away, that your mat, your space, wherever you are, has become a sanctuary. And you are exactly designed, and you have become exactly what you're supposed to be in this moment. There was no wrong turn that brought you here. You're exactly where you're intended to be right now, just as you are. Take a nice deep breath as you take in that truth that you are exactly enough. Breathe that in. And breathe out. Let go of any doubts.
Get in here, fool.
My boyfriend has impeccable timing to try and make me laugh. Take a moment to feel gratitude for whatever it is you've got in this moment. Take a moment to notice what you have right now, in this moment, regardless of any fears of losing in the future. Let's think about what is here now. Allow that gratitude to bring wakefulness into your body as you begin to make your way back into a seated position. And as we come into seated position, we'll connect our breath. We're going to inhale, sweep arms up. And then we're going to exhale down to heart center. We'll take a moment here just to reflect upon our practice. I thank you all for joining in. I hope that you all enjoyed this practice, and I appreciate each and every one of you, all of your support, and I appreciate your positive attitude and energy that you continue to share. So if you can't find hope or you cannot find light, then become it. Be the hope, be the light that we all need. Thank you all. I see you. The soul within me, the tattered, woundful, tethered soul in me, the beautiful soul in me sees and honors the multifaceted, beautiful soul in you. So, namaste to you all. I hope you enjoyed. I do offer these yoga sessions on a remote basis. So if any of you are interested, just send me a message. And until we meet again, just keep spreading the goodness, okay? Not the badness. Stay home. Get your housework done. Make the most of the time that we have, to kind of hunker down. I know it's easy to get stir crazy and to want to get out and do things, but there's always plenty that can be done around the house, around the home. And if you, if you're able to make some phone calls, maybe reach out to some old friends, to some loved ones, and definitely to your parents and grandparents if they're around. So, love you all, thank you all, and have a beautiful weekend. Mwah. Signing off. Adios and namaste.